So let's see what Cathie Wood has to say. Again, she's also a billionaire and she's been talking about XRP for some time. We have been waiting for XRP to grow. And, you know, Raoul Pal told us, hey, it's going to be okay. This is exactly the patterns we are seeing. But Cathie Wood is literally being more risky when others are fearful. Smash that like button.
The single most powerful gateway into digital assets. Bitcoin has seen an unprecedented price increase in the past week, climbing over 6% to over 123,500 today.
Like 600%, and people are worried that XRP is at $3. Just look out at the chart.
While Ethereum aims for a breakout high, sitting at just over $4,700. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While Bitcoin secures its position as the foundation, Ethereum is quietly becoming the institutional cryptocurrency of choice. From Coinbase to Robinhood, the big players are choosing Ethereum for all applications. Cathie says this convergence of crypto and AI is setting the stage for an entirely new financial infrastructure. Now, with US regulation shifting from hostility to clear guidance, Wood believes we're entering a high-momentum phase where adoption accelerates, unlocking opportunity on a massive scale. The bottom line, if her thesis plays out, Bitcoin will soar to well over $1 million, and Ethereum could cement itself as the backbone of digital finance, and the investors who understand this shift early will be best positioned for the opportunities ahead. Let's get right into the latest interview with Cathie Wood, as she lays out why she believes this crypto cycle will be unlike anything we've seen before.
That our bull case is well over
this one. Right now. Look at what she says about XRP. She's literally been very vocal about the new wave, like a small crash and then a new wave of a pump happening.
Of that stack. But I think the much bigger force right now is it's the gateway into digital assets for institutional. It's a new asset class. That and the really substitute for gold as a store of value, another use case. Those are the two biggest, and those we have not changed at all our opinion on. So I think we can safely say that our bull case is well over $1 million in 5 years. Again, because we're primarily in the public markets and because the ecosystem, Bitcoin, Ether, we do have private funds which had a very heavy weighting in Solana relative to ETH until recently. And, you know, we made a very good move at a good time as Ether started to outpace Solana. So those are the big three for us.
And XRP outpacing both of them like this year, which is pretty much insane gains, right?
Us, and, you know, we're watching layer twos, of course, as well.
Like technology, working with banks, fast transactions, that is what is a $1 billion industry. And that is what Ripple is offering right now.
And I think you'll see us, as we're trying to educate our primary client base, go more deeply into, you know, the big three, talking in terms that financial analysts and investors will understand, you know, looking at returns relative to risk, calculating the Sharpe ratio, the Sortino ratio, and so forth. The other thing we're going to do, like we have done with Bitcoin, Ether, Solana, and then the longer tail. So, and what this does is analyze on-chain or look at and evaluate on-chain analytics, the kinds of signaling properties that these protocols have that we don't have in equities or bonds because the transparency just isn't there the way it is in blockchain technology. So we'll do.
Whales are already stocking up on the XRP. We can see these on-chain analytics, they stocked up at $3.
ETH, Solana, and others as time goes
XRP.
On. And as they begin to show themselves as interesting, especially to institutional investors.
Institutional investors, which are going to be buying billions.
Was all around crypto. And of course, now they're at full throttle. If you saw their analyst day, and the debut of some of their crypto offerings. I think they're playing to win big.
So no MicroStrategy in that top three?
Well, no, because as I said before, with MicroStrategy, yes, that is a bet on Bitcoin. That's obviously the biggest asset in the space. We feel certainly that Coinbase is powered importantly by Bitcoin, because where Bitcoin goes, others follow. So we felt that we had a good broad-based holding there. We do think it's important now that Ether is showing up as an institutional preference, that it's important for us to be there. We have been.
That's what I'm telling you guys. XRP, an institutional preference. Like, why do the banks want to work with XRP and Ethereum? They want to work with them for this simple reason, is because they have utility. They're going to have utility for the next 10 years and have fast transactions. That's what Cathie Wood is warning us about.
Saying for quite some time that the economy has been in a rolling recession. When the Fed jacked rates up 22-fold in little more than a year's time, one sector after another began to give way. So this is going to be with us for quite some time. So I think we've been saying we believe that thanks to certainty now, more certainty about tariffs, tax policy, government spending, and regulation or deregulation, that we're getting ready to move from this rolling recession into a much stronger than expected recovery. In the next, I'll say 6 to 9 months, it will become obvious. And because that is if interest rates don't come down. Then the big surprise in the latter part of this year is how low inflation is going to go.
Cathie is certain on where Bitcoin and Ethereum are headed.
And XRP. That's what I've been warning you guys. Cathie Wood is literally calling, for the long-term growth of XRP and the demand of XRP coin.
But this is where it gets even more critical. Now she digs into the forces that could accelerate or derail this cycle, and why it's happening faster than Wall Street realizes. Cathie also shares her updated bull case, and why she believes this isn't just another bull run, but a permanent rewiring of the financial system. If you think the first half of this cycle was exciting, what's coming next could change the way the world moves money forever.
And of course, you have the executive branch also supporting it mightily, proposing that we include Bitcoin in Treasury reserves. So you've got, I think we're going to have support of all three branches of government are going to be supportive, which is a big change. This is the next big wave, and it's a huge efficiency move for the financial services sector. If anything, what we're seeing with the stablecoin movement, which is how people, is the on-ramp into decentralized financial services, they're all backed by Treasury securities, which de facto they're backed by the dollar. So we think that movement is gaining momentum here, especially now Bitcoin was rules.
Now this might be in the future because according to my research, the government has announced that they will not be buying any XRP with the taxpayers' money. So just keep that in mind, that this is what happened about a week ago. I'll keep you guys updated on that though, when the government has said, holding crypto for treasury.
Okay. 21 million units, and we're nearly at 20 million now. So that scarcity value will continue to support Bitcoin going forward. We went through another period like this. It was 2017, and Bitcoin that year went from less than $1,000 to $20,000. That was the ICO boom, and most of those failed. So it's buyer beware. Yeah. Be careful, and that is why we need some regulation here, because it's out of control, as I think you would say. Bitcoin's a completely different animal, though, completely different. But if you look at Bitcoin, it has served as both a risk-on asset, so that's tech, yes, but also a risk-off asset. When we went through the regional bank crisis in the U.S. in the spring of 23, Bitcoin took off. Why? Because there's no counterparty risk in Bitcoin.
If big tech sells off, will crypto go down significantly?
The correlations are there is a correlation, but it is not as high as, small cap equities to large cap equities. The more institutions get involved, the more correlations will go up. But right now, if you look at the statistics, the correlations in terms of returns and risk among these assets, very different. And if we're right, the most massive concentration in the market in history, worse than the Depression, is probably going to give way to a broader-based bull market. We're seeing that in our portfolios, and it really did start right around, actually, the day after the election. And I think one of the
So yeah, the news wave of cycle has already happened, guys, and we are in it. The new wave of basically a bull run. Imagine, when did XRP go from 20 cents through its way to where it was, $3.6? Exactly after the election or announcement of the election. That was the day where XRP went up 50%. And again, this election is going to hold for the next 4 years, which, if according to the markets going well, we could be seeing a 2-3 year positive market movements, which is huge for XRP.
most important things is going to happen is regulations coming down. Even in AI, in the United States, their regulations started to intrude in a technology that is today where the internet was in the early 90s. We don't even know what we have yet. Yeah. We're as excited as back then, but now is not the time to regulate it heavily.
So here's the reality. We are on the edge of one of the most powerful alignment of catalysts in crypto history. Rate cuts, market structure clarity, institutional green lights. These aren't just headlines, they're fuel.
And all of that is coming in Q4. Rate cuts, clarity bill, all of this news is coming in Q4 of 2025. So I will keep you guys updated, but it seems pretty clear. She's saying that all this technology, it's not time to regulate it, but accept crypto what it is right now and accept it into the markets, the government working with it.
250,000 for Bitcoin. That's what I think.
Now is the time to pay attention. Markets move fastest when the majority are still distracted, and by the time everyone's talking about new all-time highs, the biggest gains are already gone. Whether you lean Bitcoin, Ethereum, or a balanced basket of quality crypto assets, the next year could define your portfolio for the next decade. The bottom line, this isn't just another cycle. This is a structural shift in how the world values, trades, and stores wealth. The institutions are here. The technology is ready. And for those who prepare now, the rewards could be life-changing. Make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on, because in the coming weeks, we're going to track every move, every catalyst, and every breakout as this next crypto wave builds. The opportunities are coming.
Seems like we are going to be seeing a massive hype wave, especially in October. Guys, I will keep you updated with more content, but it's very clear Cathie Wood is asking basically, to understand right now that the generation, the 3 years of recession we have been seeing is now over. It's finally over, and the 3 years that we needed to fix since 2022 are finally resolved, and we can move forward with all this technology having no limits. For example, XRP can now finally work with banks after their lawsuit is over. There's really an unlimited potential now for XRP where it was capped before. I will keep you guys updated with more content. Smash that like button and see you guys soon. Love you all. Check out my other videos and peace, everyone.